I have the best baby game you're gonna see on the current patch on YouTube right now, I promise. And I know because I watched them all. My only regret was not being able to record it in higher quality, but you will be able to see just how quality I cook this lobby with a bug start. But I find 2 babies right after the first round, the toughest babies to find as well. And if you know me, I'm down to clown. With whatever eggs I get, I'm gonna run. The only item I'm looking for is to make as a lucky egg from my babies and maybe an amulet coin, but to attempt to make some money because I'm gonna need that power level to put in whatever I get and it's gonna help, right? I made an amulet coin, and my strategy is to add as many babies as possible with whatever upgraded unit. I found bug synergy, and that really is good to streak early game, I think, because I swarm the field and I have a unit advantage. I find the 3rd baby, so I go with baby 3 with an upgraded unit. I wait to sell, and it's good because I do get an egg, lucky me, and it's a bug. I already have some bugs, but even better, my unique pick is a bug with a magnet. I picked up the stone earlier for flexibility, running babies. I don't know what I'm gonna play, but this first egg is electric bug, so I am cooking. Another baby and an artificial unit in the shop, so I lock it up. And at this point, I want to thank you for clicking on the video and listening. If you make it to the end, please consider giving it a like. Stick around because I will have some news that I like to share / interesting things I found throughout the week / something funny. But let me get back to talking about the gameplay. And I get another egg, so I put it on another baby. Togepi spells gives extra luck, so I should have put it in, but I didn't have to. I get a 3rd egg. Instead of getting greedy, I decided to start building my team. Gothita in particular is a mon I've used before, but all 3 of these eggs are pretty common in the fact that I see these Pokemon a lot on YouTube when we're talking about baby egg games and Pokemon Auto Chest. It's gonna take time for all these eggs to hatch, and since my first egg matched my unique Pokemon, this is my best shot to build something very unique and special. I find a nose pass as my 2nd artificial, which ended up being perfect, and the item is really good. Metal Coat turns something into a steel type, allowing me to do true damage, and since I'm using Pineco, who is a steel, it will always be active. Being an artificial item, I can move it around, so you'll see me put it on different Pokemon and who's it suited for in different rounds. I also love Nosepass's ability, granting shields to everyone around it, and since its range, it protects my backline, which will include at least Vigavolt and Gothitelle because they're on my bench as eggs. I opt for the Bug Steel portal because A, it's in front of me, and 2, I'm 1 off from Bug and 1 off from Steel for synergy. I end up getting Shuckle, which completes my defensive front line with Shuckle and Fortress, while allowing me to get Bug 4. So I'll never be outnumbered. Shuckle is cool because it doesn't really need any items, especially right now, because I just need it to be a wall, and I'll have Grubbin do most of the damage with the punching blow. First piece of comic book news I want to share, Jeremy Adams signed an exclusive deal to DC. Jeremy Adams is a very good modern day writer who's revitalized the Flash comic, is writing Green Lantern, Adam Strange, and he's doing great stuff. People only has good things to say about him, and this is a good creative push for DC. I also go and make a Mana Sash for Nosepass because the more it casts, the more defensive my team becomes, and with the artificial bonus, he gets a small all stat up for each item. I'm not going full artificial, but for a good unit, the level 1 bonus is enough. I'm still losing rounds while my mons evolve, but it's close. I hit the Fortress evolution, and I end up with a Wonder Box, or Wunderbar as I call it. I was really hesitant on what to put it on, but in the end, the only right choice is any of my hatch mods. Speaking of, they both hatch, and I'm saving my money to push for level and put them both in. Swapping out my Honage for Beldum in preparation for my next hatch mod, which is Psychic type. Still gushing about Jeremy Adams. I didn't even mention he's writing Aquaman right now, which is on issue 2, and it's crazy. He's a god killer, and it's amazing. It's very fun. Very, very fun. Another bit of comic book news is Diamond going bankrupt. This happened a couple months ago, but it's the biggest thing that happened to comic books of the decade for sure, because they held a monopoly in distributing the comic books to all the small comic book stores. So now there's a market shifting opening up for distribution of comic books and some other things, but it's only going to make the market stronger, because monopolies are no good if you study any bit of economics. The Diamond thing is interesting to me though, because if you know anything, you know they weren't a really good company, and they did a bunch of other stuff too, so like toys and nonsense or whatever. So like, I don't know, they're fine. It's just, it's going to be interesting to get comic books to modernize and to do things in a better way. Like the Thinking Critical comic aficionados have good discussions on this all the time too, and they're right. Like, comic books should be right next to magazines. At least the #1 issues, right, should be next to magazines where people see them so they can like buy them, like in the grocery store line or at the deli counter. You got to get creative with these things if we want comic books to stay relevant or at least make enough money. And since I have a heart scale, I check what people are playing to see if I need a fluffy tail that I will put on my hatch mons, because those are going to be my carries. Not my unique, not shuckle, not my legendary, my hatch mons. And I see somebody's playing ice, so I make that. Eventually I find a second electric bug. If I was checking the picks that were added, I'm sure I would have saw that Joltik was added, but this is perfect surprise for me. So now I have Charger Bug, has Electric 3 active, and we keep Bug 4. I have to put it here because there's nowhere else to say it, but later I'm going to share with you my favorite scene from a really good 4th Doctor episode, because I've been on a Doctor Who kick again, because I like Doctor Who, and this recent stuff is like garbage ever since Peter Capaldi left. But it's a 4th Doctor story, and it's an opening scene from City of Death, a classic episode, and it just encapsulates everything I love about the Doctor. His reactions, his best friend, second best friend, being a canine robot dog that he built. His mannerisms, how he reacts with his companions, it's just great. It's just chef kiss. I've been timestamping this 12-hour Doctor Who video too, and it's just too much fun. But for now, we lose this fight after the carousel, so I push level to put in the notorious PIG, and now I'm slow rolling for upgrades. I can't blow my money just yet because I need it for later in the game, but I believe in this comp to compensate. For my front and back line, I get 2 copies. The Charger Bug gets copied, and probably Shuckle or one of my defensive ones. And for my legend, my only thought is to force artificial, because that's my weakest unit in Beldum, and I wouldn't have to upgrade it anymore. And the only legend artificial unit I can even think of is Mewtwo. I can't change my team, but that's okay. This is the only team I have. We get the Mewtwo, which is a psychic artificial of my dreams, and I make an electric type with the electric stone because it get artificial bonus. The weaker items is better to put on Mewtwo. Mewtwo doesn't really need items, but now it gets the electric bonus and all stat bonus from the artificial. It's cooking. I almost whiffed my Wonder Box, but in the end I do put it on Gothita, who needs it more. And Mewtwo just needs true damage, so I put the metal coat on him and a simple spoon to boost its special, plus that's 3 items giving it 3 different Omni boosts. And the spoon, the special is stacks.
That Affirmative.
Even simple one-dimensional chess exposes the limitations of the machine mind.
Bishop to Queen 6. Mistress.
There.
Affirmative. Check, Master.
What?
Machine mind computes mate in 6 moves.
Rubbish! Leader, keep still. And shut up. I'm trying to concentrate.
Your move, Master.
I know it's my move. Don't flash your eyes at me.
Wrong square.
What?
Your king, Master. Wrong square.
Really? Are you sure?
Affirmative.
Doctor, can I speak now?
All right, you must. What is it?
Well, the column has stopped moving. It is not important.
What? We might have gone right through the time spiral. Why didn't you tell me?
I tried to, but you
You
wouldn't
didn't.
let me. I did.
You didn't.
I did.
You didn't.
I did.
That confounded pig, it's always jamming things up. Stay calm. I'm going to materialize and take a reading.
Where are we?
We're still in the solar system. Pluto?
Pluto?
Yes, Pluto.
The 9th planet was, until the discovery of Cassius, believed to be the outermost body in the system.
Leela,
Pluto
tell
has
your
a
tin pet
diameter
to shut up.
of 3,000.
K9, you can tell me later.
Affirmative. Its distance from the sun is...
By this point, I'm winning more than not, and I am spoiled for choice. If I can find Garvantula, I just use Shinx or Electabuzz. I even try to do some camera work, fancy camera work, zoom ins on the fly, but then I started losing, so I have to roll for my life. The last bit of comic book news I want to share with you could be summed up by Sal from Comic Pop. Please check out Comic Pop and his second channel, Comic Pop Returns. I love Sal. He's great. He works really hard and he's hilarious. And he knows a lot about 90s comics, but he sums it up perfectly at the start of his video. It's happening!
It's happening! Everybody stay calm! It's happening! Oh my god! It's that thing that I said they should do! I was paying attention to all the warning signs. I read all the tea leaves. And it happened!
It did.
It's happening! Oh my god! Oh my god! People are like, what's happening? What are you talking about? I don't know. I don't read any of the comic book news. I have no idea what's happening. Why are you
Very
going
fair.
live on a Friday night? Here's why, folks. Marvel and DC are doing another crossover. We're not even gonna bear the lead. Oh my god. Marie Jevons and ZB Cebulski didn't even do it at Comics Pro today.
I gave it a metal coat for some true damage, a choice scarf. The next PvP round gives me a fluffy tail, and I'm ready for the ice guy. I didn't even mention I couldn't help myself when I took protective pads, gave it to Fortress. Since Fortress hurts itself with explosion, it becomes an unstoppable frontline unit, and it's steel for true damage, and I get 2 of them because now that's my second bug getting copied. To finish my comp, I really want a fire type to help Embor do more damage and start burning things more, but none spoke to me. Even after the 3 Fuecocos I rolled straight through, but Darmanitan actually fit my team perfectly. All 3 synergies, Psychic, Fury, and Fire. I found it on a PvP round, so I threw a little and took out Garvantula to see if I needed bug 4. Luxio might be better, but in the end I decided against it. We need bug 4. For the final fight, I will leave you with a simple quote, so please check the big screen or the huge screen, the screen of destiny in the bottom left corner. Please join me for some live streams, Doctor Who movie nights, whatever, comic books. It's all here, I promise. The ending quote is attributed to Think Before You Sleep. It's just great inspirational stuff, and it actually inspired this video a little bit. Yeah, thank you. All of the stuff that we watched today and reference will be in the description below. Please check out the creators, Comic Pop, Think Before You Sleep, even Thinking Critical. I don't even think he was in this video, but I talked about him. Alright, but yeah, thanks for listening. You made it to the end. GG's.
The first play that we did was called the Discovery Play. And we were doing Troilus and Cressida, which is not one of Shakespeare's better plays. It's one of his worst plays.
Then why do it?
Good question. So we're doing this play, and it's just god awful. And I'm like, I'm a Juilliard. This should be one of the best plays I've ever done in my life. Like, what is going on? So I stood up 3 days before opening. I said, we have got to remember that people are going to spend their lives 3 hours with us, and it is a crime to waste that time.
That was James Marsters, who's known for playing Piccolo in one of my favorite movies, Dragon Ball Evolution. And he's right. If your job is to entertain people, then being boring is a crime. You can be awe-inspiringly good or comedically bad, but you can't be boring. This is the mindset that a lot of good entertainers have, and I'm quite often put off by people who take no pride in at least doing a half-decent job for the work that they're paid for, or better yet, they're like Officer West and they get paid for making things worse. I mean, a lot of people can't figure out why certain people are doing better than others, but it's really simple. Do you know why a guy is making 6 figures a year while you're stuck making 20,000? Generally, it's because that person provides value and displays some level of competence at what he does. The more people take pride in giving people value for what they had paid for, the better things get for everyone. And if you don't provide value because you hate your job, then today is the day to start looking for a new one. And if you can't get a better job because you don't have the required skills, then today is the day to start learning.